Hi and welcome to Shale World. Today here with me is Klawiter-Piwowarska from the office of the Marshal of the Pomorskie Region in Poland. So Ms. Klawiter-Piwowarska, communicating with stakeholders and keeping in contact with them is a key aspect for shale development. So what do you think the industry should do? What's the best way to communicate with them?
Actually, to directly communicate with all the stakeholders around, focusing on local societies, but also local authorities, institutions, NGOs. So actually communicating with everyone who's interested in that, and of course being open.
And talking a bit deeper about Poland in this case, what kind of barriers do you think there are for shale gas developments in the country?
So right now we are waiting for the new law to be introduced.
Yeah.
Not only on our country level but also on the European level. Mm-hmm. So this is a question: how will it look like? The second thing is, of course, public acceptance, not only in Poland, because in Poland it's actually quite high, but in the whole European Union. Mm-hmm. But also, I think one of the most important barriers is also the difference between America and Europe, because of course we've got different geology, we've got different population density, yeah. We have different characteristics of all the regions. So this is also a thing to be discussed, and it might be a challenge.
Definitely. And do you think actually Europe can emulate the US success? What are your thoughts about it?
So I think that Europe needs its own approach. So of course we should look how was it done in the US, mm-hmm. And of course we should try to try to transpose good practices, mm-hmm. but also to develop new practices based on European characteristics. So of course learning from the US is really important, but we need to look carefully at our own land and try to invent our good practices. That's the thing.
So going back to Poland and now talking about unconventional developments on a regional basis, what are the developments in the Pomorskie region?
So right now, as a regional authority, the Marshal at first inspired the dialogue between all the stakeholders and is closely watching what's going around. Mm-hmm. We have prepared the first in the EU study over environmental and social impacts of shale gas development. We want this study to be the basis of mm-hmm. the discussion, and of course we want to evaluate it. And we have prepared a special project called Together About Shales. It is a project that aims mm-hmm. to gather together near the one table, so local societies, local inhabitants, mm-hmm. Local authorities and companies together to make them talk about shale gas development, but in the very local context. Mm-hmm. So we created a kind of local dialogue committees, and we believe it's the efficient way to actually coordinate this real dialogue, to make real people discuss in real time all together, and maybe finally after some time with the tools that we are also supporting mm-hmm. And giving to the local dialogue committees to evaluate some kind of agreement, a social agreement about how to do it locally, or of course if they do not agree, some disagreement then. But we hope that after several months of discussing important issues that are really important for the locals, should give the real raise in knowledge for the local societies, and actually should make all the stakeholders get together and really know each other's concerns and also some positives.
That's a really good project.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I hope it will work.
I wish you all the best with it, absolutely. Just the last question, from your point of view, what to expect from the shale gas industry in the next couple of years?
So we expect they find some gas
Yeah.
that can be commercially produced, and we expect that everyone will still communicate with each other and be open to one another, and so that we can together actually
Build up the
yeah,
industry.
exactly.
Thank you very much for your time,
Thank you.
Margaret. It was a pleasure to have you here today.